magic. On ice, the 10th year of the Labatt Brier, the Canadian Men's Curling Championship from Saskatchewan Place in Saskatoon. And if curling is magic on ice, the curlers are the magicians who make it all happen. No less than 5 world champion skips head the list of Labatt regional winners, all hopeful they'll pull the Labatt tankard out of their bag of tricks. Throwing the ceremonial first rock is the very first winner of the Labatt Brier 10 years ago, now representing British Columbia, Rick Folk. With the help of his sweepers Harvey Mazinke, CCA past president Garnet Campbell, and another former world and Brier champion Ernie Richardson, Ernie points out the strength and depth of the 1989 competitors.
The field out here in this Brier is probably one of the best fields that has ever got together for the Brier. You know, at one time you could pick any one of the top 4 teams. Right now there's probably 8 teams out there that could win this championship.
And one of those is Al Hackner of Northern Ontario, competing without his longtime third, Rick Lang.
That's right. I think I've played the 5 previous Briers. I played in Rick Lang's always been a third. Had different front ends, and this will be a new experience, although we've played a fair amount of games this year with Bill Adams at third, and I can't see that being a major stumbling block. Bill Adams is a good shot maker, and we've had the full year together, and even though he's only 25, he's very experienced. He's played in about 3 different nationals before, and I think if we come out and play to what we're capable of playing, we should be close.
Hackner hopes they'll be as close as Bill Adams is to twin brother Jim.
We're going to make a whole lot of trouble and win this Brier on the double.
Instead, it would be double trouble for Northern Ontario in the early going, as Hackner found himself sliding into 2 losses and only 1 victory, that against Saskatchewan. But the losses to Nova Scotia and to this young man from Quebec, Pierre Charette, the golf pro, who along with Andre Lafleur, Dan Westfall, and Richard Bisson shocked Hackner 8-3. The good luck held out for defending Brier champion Pat Ryan in his Alberta rink for the first 2 draws, but then a red-hot Saskatchewan foursome, skipped by Jim Packett, filled up the house with shots like this. Ryan had to go for broke. But it just didn't work out, and for the first time in 14 matches, the defending champion loses a game. A nice win for Packett, but as he points out, there's a lot of curling to come.
Well, there's still lots of good teams out there, like Howard. He's 2-0, and Rick Folk will be tough. This is his kind of ice also, and Al Hackner should be tough. He's got a really good team there.
There's a good reason behind this unique haircut. This is Kevin Folk, the son of BC skip Rick Folk, who at this point is the only undefeated rink in the competition. Russ Howard and Ontario are not making life any easier for Folk, however. Witness this shot. This is Howard's last shot, with Folk having the hammer and the pressure of having to make a pretty good shot himself. And here it is. Rick Folk keeps his unblemished record intact.
Good enough.
An interesting and eventually controversial situation began developing during that last match between Howard and Folk. Listen to Howard. Yelling was straining his vocal cords, and he subsequently lost his voice. So what to do, you might ask? Well, check Howard's second, Tim Belcourt. He's wearing an earpiece, and so is Howard. The grand old game has gone high-tech with walkie-talkies yet.
I don't think there's a team here that would say there's any problem with it. They're all nice guys. The higher the competition you play, the fairer the guys are. I don't think they're going to say anything about it. I'd be shocked if they do.
Tournament officials were shocked, however, and short-circuited the whole idea with this announcement.
The Appeals Committee of the 1989 Labatt Brier have decided that electronic devices of any kind are not to be used by players on the ice surface. Teams who persist in the use of such devices will be penalized by the loss of game in which they are used. Enforcement of this policy will be in effect on draw 11 and all subsequent draws.
If they force us not to use them, they force us not to use them. There's nothing we can do about it.
And so Russ Howard was off the air as far as the electronic skipping was concerned, but he certainly wasn't off his game as he finished regulation play with 8 wins and 3 losses in a 3-way tie with Alberta and British Columbia. But not everybody ends up in the playoffs, however. As the territory skip Al Delmage is quick to point out, it's a great experience just to play in the Brier, regardless of your record. The territory's tied with Northern Ontario at 3-8.
If you don't come here and enjoy yourself, you might as well not come, because regardless of whether you win or lose, just the atmosphere and the hospitality and everything that's involved with Brier is just a great experience.
Hello, my name is Doug Weeks. I'm from the Charlottetown Curling Club. I'm representing the province of Prince Edward Island.
Hi, I'm Gary Mitchell, the curler of Thistle St. Andrews Curling Club. We're representing the province of New Brunswick.
I'm Al Hackner from the Fort William Curling Club, representing Northern Ontario.
My name is Al Delmage. I'm representing the Yellowknife Curling Club, and we're from the Territories.
Hi, I'm Pierre Charette from the Buckingham Curling Club. We represent the province of Quebec.
My name is Jim Packett. I curl at the Estevan Curling Club, and we're curling for the province of Saskatchewan.
My name is Ragnar Kemp from the Truro Curling Club, and we represent the province of Nova Scotia.
My name is Oris Melischek. I curl out of the Lac du Bonny Curling Club. I represent the province of Manitoba.
My name is Lauren Henderson, and I'm representing St. John's Curling Club, and I'm also representing the province of Newfoundland.
Hi, I'm Russ Howard from the Penneting Machine Curling Club, and we represent the province of Ontario.
My name is Rick Folk. We curl out of the Kelowna Curling Club, representing the province of British Columbia.
My name's Pat Ryan. I'm from the Otwell Curling Club. We're here representing the province of Alberta.
They call Saskatoon Sports City 89, and it certainly was during the Labatt Brier. While only 3 rinks finished in the playoffs, everybody is a winner during these 8 great days of Canadian sport every year. You want keen competition? We've got it. You want memorabilia? You've got it. You want to swap pins? This guy will help you. You want good times, fun and frolic? You can't miss. The Brier Patch is the meeting place for curlers from coast to coast. You would have a tough time going on a diet during Brier Week. How about another t-shirt or a souvenir for those back home? It's all there for the picking and the paying. You could even talk to the animals, including mascot Brier Bear.
People need a little diversion. Curling is a long game, and you know, the fans are just as tense as the players, and I suppose the Bear supplies that alternative. They have a lot of fun, and the players, officials, and everyone seems to enjoy it, so I'm sort of delighted to keep on doing it as long as I can.
Yes, Brier Week is magic time. Whatever your taste, you'll find it somewhere, sometime. From the Caribbean to European fare. It was all there for all to enjoy. The dancers, the various cultures, the music, and of course, more good food. Mountains of it, from schnitzels to split pea soup, from spinach pie to pierogies and sour cream. Curling fans love their food and drink, but they never forget what they came for. The scene is set for the final weekend of the '89 Labatt Brier. Pat Ryan is the buy into the final by virtue of his victories earlier over both Ontario and British Columbia. That sets up the semi-final playoff between Rick Folk and Russ Howard. Last rock advantage in the first end belongs to Folk. The 4 skip rocks remain to be played. Here is the first for Russ Howard.
Hurry! Good way! Hurry!
The Ontario sweepers Tim Belcourt and Kent Carstairs now laying off of the hog line. He's trying to guard the rock he already has, edging into the 8-foot ring. Good line, good distance between the guard and the shot rock. So Ontario's got a potential steal in the making here. Rick Folk's got one choice with his first rock. Good weight, out turn, run the guard, maybe catch the shot rock on the way through. There goes the guard. Contact with the shot rock, but oh, he makes it worse for himself. He buries it behind the guards in the right of the center line. So now a good situation for Howard, but a big hole that Rick Folk has dug himself into. Howard looking at the possibility of a second draw into the house on the left side of center and making sure it gets far enough back so it can't be used for a double against the rock under cover. But instead, he decides to go the other way, the safe way perhaps, with a raise of his rock just off the rings on the right-hand side. A delicate raise shot using the out turn. They sweep now to keep it on line to get it into the house, and in it goes. Nicely buried, 2 shot stones for Russ Howard. So Rick Folk knows he has no access to those 2 covered shot stones. He's got to test his draw weight early, a cold draw with the in turn right to the 4-foot.
Line's good.
Sit on the guard. Where's the weight?
Come on.
Yep. Right.
Hurry.
And rock is bending quite a bit and slowing down by the guard, but digging in. Can they get it far enough? They cannot. It is a steal of 2 for Russ Howard of Ontario. What a start for him in the sudden death semifinal game. Then the second and third ends were blank as Rick Folk retains last rock into the 4th end. Now, Folk considering his options behind those 2 corner guards, trying to get in behind them. His first rock of end number 4.
Line's good.
Doug Smith and Rob Kofsky get it there for Folk in behind the corner guard. He's lying 1 with a biter at the back. A count of 2 potentially for Folk in the end.
Oh. Wow.
Now Howard.
Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa! He can't afford his shooter to roll away here. He's going down to the second shot rock, taking care of it. He rolls and just does hang on to the back. Now virtually a free draw for Rick Folk. His option was the cold draw or the raise. He played the raise somewhat dangerously as it rolls a bit too deep, but hangs in, gets his 2 back, and shakes his head, content of the fact at least that he's tied the game. And it goes down to a final rock in the 5th end.
Straight back or high side.
More trouble for Howard. He's got last rock here, but he's got a problem.
Whoa! Whoa!
He plays a very tough raise takeout attempt. Wrong angle, not there. A point stolen. Now British Columbia, with momentum, takes the lead over Ontario 3-2 at the halfway mark of the Brier semifinal. Last rock isn't doing Russ Howard very much good as we go to skip rocks in the 6th end. Those BC Yellowstones, one of them squarely in the 4-foot ring. Here is Rick Folk now trying to remove the second shot stone.
Yeah.
Rick's got his takeout game down pat. He's left, lying 4 after that great shot. A world of trouble facing this man, Russ Howard. Here's his first rock of the end.
Hooray! Hooray! Come on! Hooray!
His shooter must stick around. But it will not. He gets one rolling away, leaving Folk 3 with each man having a rock to play. And here is Folk's attempt. Playing it ever so quietly.
Line's cut. Line's cut.
Gretzinger in the house calls the line. Kopsky and Smith with the sweeping, bringing it up now as it approaches the top of the 12-foot. It's a bit deeper than they might have wanted. It's full at the top of the 4-foot. But Howard can't get shot rock by hitting it on the nose, so Folk has done the job. Howard looks at a tough situation. Glenn Howard marks the ice for him.
Can't really draw, Ken, because I get around. He's got two anyway.
Facing 4, clustered around the 4-foot circle, unable to stick, as I said, with a hit on the front rock. He has to catch the 2 on the way back to do any damage.
Play for no, just for the sake of my rock.
The draw is very demanding, so he'll play the hit using the outturn, good weight, just a couple of inches of ice. He does some house cleaning, but not enough. BC has picked up at least 1, maybe 2 here. A crucial steal for Rick Folk in the 6th end of the semifinal game. It is a steal of 2. British Columbia taking a 5-2 lead after 6. In the 7th end, we're down to the final 3 rocks. Momentum taken by Ontario has dissipated quickly. British Columbia very much in command now. The Ontario Stone just cornering that one, but leaving itself in the open. Nonetheless, Howard has 2 well-spaced counters. Here's Folk's last shot of the end. If they trade shots, Ontario can get 2 right back. Folk has to stick around here. He does, but in the open, wide open, in the 4. The takeout game continues with this final 7th end shot by Russ Howard. Again measured carefully by the sweepers. And by Glenn Howard calling line. They wait for it to curl. Gets there, got half a rock, throwing it quietly, enables it to stick around on the 4-foot. So the 2 come right back for Ontario. It's 5-4 after 7. In the 8th end, down to the final 3 rocks. There is a biter just counting at 11 o'clock. And here is Folk with his first stone. The hammer has now been transferred to him for this 8th end. And just back of the tee line, he stops with the draw shot. BC lying 2. It is deep, and yet there's enough room for Howard to hit and roll under cover. They look at the biter. It does appear to be on. And here's Howard. He needs this to get back into the game. Hangs a bit and rolls too far all the way out, leaving that questionable biter at the top of the house. Rick Folk, looking at that biter, seems fairly well sure that it is counting.
That'll last.
So he'll play a straight draw, hoping he'll get the pair. The outturn behaving itself nicely as it approaches the rings. He's there. 1 for sure, and they'll make sure if it's a pair or not. That one yellow rock remaining at the top of the house for the measurement. Any contact at all means 2 points. And there it is. British Columbia with a 7-4 lead, just 2 ends to go.
Really spin it.
The ninth is blank, taking it down to the final rock of end number 10 and leaving Russ Howard with a desperation shot. He lets the spinner go. Shades of Paul Savage years ago at the Winnipeg Brier. He gets a piece of his own, rolling his spinner back in the house beyond the 4 foot, the 8 and the 12, and almost out of play. In fact, there it goes. So one last desperation shot fails, and Rick Folk goes on to the Brier final with a victory of a 7-4 margin over Russ Howard of Ontario.
Our arena approximately 4,200. There is certainly no way that we'll be able to beat Brier attendance, but that it wasn't really our purpose. I guess our purpose was to put Sault Ste. Marie on the map and be ourselves within Sault Ste. Marie, and it's going to be a big party.
If there's one thing curlers and curling fans know how to do, it's have a good time. And judging from these scenes in Saskatoon, the Sioux will be one wild and woolly place next March 4th to 11th. Great competition, the national championship, the Brier Patch. It'll all be there for all to enjoy. So plan to curl up with the Sioux, Sault Ste. Marie, the forestry capital of Canada for 1990 and home at the 1990 Labatt Brier. Drink in that northern hospitality. There's nothing quite like it. Meanwhile, back at Saskatoon Place, the '89 Labatt Brier was on everybody's mind, and a great matchup for the Canadian Men's Championship between two former champs, Rick Folk of BC and Pat Ryan on his Alberta rink.
I would like to throw my last rock, maybe a draw to the button, and put it right on there, and that'd be a team shot because the sweepers would be involved to put it there, and we'd feel that we all put that rock right in there to take it. I think that would probably be the best way to do it.
To win a Brier, to actually get through that last game and hold the tankard over your head, it means just that you've accomplished what very few people can do. So it's a goal that everybody sets. It's a competitive curler. Very few ever get to reach it. So that's what it means to win a Brier, that you've reached your goal. And in my case, that's my goal, is to win the Brier.
Yes, both men have been there before. In fact, Ryan last year, he's trying to do what Donnie Duguid did in 1970 and 71, win back-to-back Briers. And the first three ends, last rock to Alberta, have been blank. They carry the hammer into end number 4 in Saskatchewan Place. Ryan getting set to deliver. This figured to be a low-scoring, hard-hitting, well-played game, and so far, the curlers have taken care of that. That's what it's been. Ryan trying to blank here for a 4th consecutive end, but this time it's a nose hit. He'll take a point. Alberta with a 1-0 lead after 4. This crowd hanging on every shot, a capacity crowd which has the teams down to the final 2 rocks of end number 5. Ryan, for the first time in the game without last rock, plays the draw carefully.
Gotta be at least T-line.
He wants it back to the T-line. Don Walchuk and Don McKenzie work on it. Now they move it up to make sure it is second shot. Indeed, it is first shot. And they're lying too. So Rick Folk with a demanding effort on his last rock.
Quick! Oh, you guys. Wow. Wow. Hurry! Come on! Hurry! Hurry!
They work hard on this, right to the end.
Nice throw.
Contact made, the shooter stays, and Rick Folk comes back with a point to tie it 1-1 at the halfway mark of the Brier final. Now the crucial sixth end with Skip Rock still to be played.
Yep.
Here's the first for Folk.
Hurry! Hurry! Hurry!
He takes care of the guard, exposing the yellow Alberta Stone. Ryan's first. Looking for a second counter across the house, opposite his number 1 shot Stone. It settles back in the 4, and Ryan is lying 2.
Wow.
Folk has to be careful with this.
Never. Okay.
It rolls too far. Ryan is left for 1 and a chance to draw for a pair. And the beauty of this is he has to only come back with the very same shot he just executed. This time, though, requires more work from the sweepers. Third man Randy Furby joins in to make sure it's there right on the button. A pair, and suddenly Alberta takes a commanding 3-1 lead. The seventh end, they just have 1 rock each to throw, these 2 fine skips. And a cluster of red rocks for British Columbia for Ryan to deal with. He drives 1 out, and it's a race to the outer rings between these 2. And it's been burned, and a rock has to be removed. So all that's left now is a rock on the outer rings to be dealt with. Folk will stick around on the hit, take a point, trail by 1 with just 3 ends to play. But the 8th and 9th ends are blanked, and it comes down to the 10th end. Last rock, 1 last chance between Alberta and British Columbia. The victory in the hands of Pat Ryan. This for a second straight Labatt Brier tankard, and this time, hopefully, a world championship to follow. And there it is. He eliminates the last hope for British Columbia, and Alberta takes it 3-2, winning the '89 Labatt Brier. Again, the Ryan team with Furby, Walchuk, and McKenzie are kings of curling in Canada.
Pat, on behalf of Labatt's, congratulations on winning the 1989 Labatt Brier here in Saskatoon. You're the first back-to-back winner of the Labatt Brier. Good luck in the Worlds, and it's been a fantastic week of competition. Congratulations.
Thanks very much, Bob.
Got to go through this again.